Hello and welcome to the Doom Productions podcast, a podcast put on by Doom Productions. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Ethan.
And we are here today with another episode with the RC boys. Caleb and Nathan. Say hello, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
And they came down this weekend, hung out with us. We recorded 2 podcasts with them. We lost 1 podcast with them. Now we're recording another podcast with them. And we filmed some other stuff too, but we'll talk about that at a later time. So, How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Sorry, I'm not excited.
It is as of recording this, it is a Monday, the 28th, I think, right?
The day
Yes.
after the Oscars.
The day after the Oscars.
the day after Joel Haver's Make a Movie Oscar Protest Challenge,
Yep.
which
We
I mean,
partook in.
yeah, no secret to our
Yeah.
listeners. It's something we did.
Mm-hmm.
By now, the movie should be out.
It has to be. Yeah.
Yeah. The movie's out.
The pressure's on for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today, I guess we have a couple of different things that we'll talk about. One is the Oscar stuff that we filmed together. Mm-hmm. The other thing, though, before we get to that, is what have these guys been up to in the last year or so?
Yeah, because they came down. The first time we met you guys in person was just about a year ago. We're at 11 and a half months right now. Mm-hmm. Since then. And you guys came down. We hung out. We met. You guys came down. We were fans of each other's work, and we chatted a couple times online. But since then, you guys have come out of your filmmaking hiatus and have shot a movie. So
yes.
And I know that's tied into us meeting. So whoever wants to kind of jump in and tell us a part of that story, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So we came down around, was it April last year? So
checking right now.
almost a year ago. We were down here seeing you guys for the first time, and at this point, Nathan and I were right off of Not So Amazing. Complete burnt out is an understatement. We were ready to take an entire year off. I was just gonna write the next movie, which is something that we're still getting to. That's gonna be the actual next thing.
Yeah, we could probably bring it up later.
Yeah, and we can bring it up later, but
April 9th. I've just
April
looked.
9th.
I have pictures dated April 9th.
So very close to a year ago.
Yeah.
And so the plan was we were just going to come down and hang out with you guys because we wanted to meet other filmmakers. But RC Films, for all intents and purposes, was going to be on pause for about a year because we just needed that. But spending 3 days in Portland, Oregon with 2 dudes that made a movie, and how many days was the October shoot?
15
days.
Shot and edited, shot and exported.
Jesus Christ.
You guys rubbed off on us in a big way, and I felt like halfway, I was in denial for about half of the drive home, and then at a certain point, I just turned to Nathan and I was like, I think we're gonna make another movie, man. And so
I'm
from
coming
there,
out of retirement.
yeah, from there on, basically Nathan and I just on the drive home started piecing together what this movie would be, and we got to the point where it was like, okay, this is gonna be scaled down from Not So times 11. It's gonna be the smallest thing ever, but it's still gonna be a feature film, and the goals were feature film that we can shoot in a couple days. Very Doomed Productions. That's why we wanted you guys on board with the project. Also, we wanted it to be so simplistic narratively that we had room to make a lot of the improvements that we wanted to make in a post Not So RC Films workflow. So and also just something so simple that I could try some things out directorially that I can't do on bigger projects. So it was this project, Hotel, what is us just trying a lot of stuff, and there was a lot of freedom there with it being as small as it was, and it was the opposite of Not So Amazing in a lot of ways. It was a really, really fun, healthy project.
Yes.
And it turned out really good from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, you guys are going to be seeing well, spoiler alert, I'm going to also be editing this feature that we shot yesterday, so I'm going to edit that first. But then in about a week from there, you guys will see probably the locked cut of Hotel, minus sound work and stuff. So it's very close to, the edit is pretty close to locked at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling really, really good about it. It's going to be it's a very hard left turn from Not So. So people out there listening, if you love Not So Amazing, I hope you love this movie. But there's like it's the farthest thing from that. So like I think it's a good thing to let people know to like prepare for like a very different RC Films movie.
A very dialogue like Richard Linklater inspired movie. Yeah.
Like, I've always, since I started, the goal has always been to build up to a drama, and this is my first drama. I will come out and say that Hotel is a drama. So, and it was really exciting to be able to finally direct a drama. It was awesome.
Did you have any inspirations for Hotel specifically?
A lot of them. Yeah, probably more than any other movie. Locke was a big one. The Tom Hardy movie where it's just him on the phone in a car. That was a big one for Nathan and I. That makes
so much sense, actually. I never put that together. That makes total sense.
That's another thing. Nathan and I wrote this movie together, so narratively, like Nathan and I were both doing all of this together. And so like Locke was a big one for us. Anomalisa was a big one for me. Nathan still needs to see Anomalisa.
Yes.
But like that one is more on a directing level, because like narratively Anomalisa couldn't be more different from Hotel, but like there's a lot of visual similarities between Anomalisa and Hotel.
Yeah, no, now that I know, isn't the I don't want to talk. I'm not going to spoil anything. Never mind. Yeah. There's a shot though.
The window.
The window shot.
The mirror.
Wipe.
Yep. That's like just borderline. Like that's just the Anomalisa shot.
Wait, is that in the trailer?
Yeah, in the teaser.
So in the teaser trailer, there's that shot. That's all we'll say.
Yeah. So
I never would have pieced that together. That's so cool to hear.
And like I could keep going on and on, but the only other big one that I'll bring up is Richard Linklater's Tape. It's one of his smallest movies that like not a lot of people have watched, but it's a movie that like as his career was like getting really big. I think he had made Dazed and Confused. I think at this point he had made the first Before movie. He had made Slacker. Like he was becoming a name in the indie scene or whatever. And he just decided to get together with some friends with a DV home video camera at a motel and shoot a movie about 3 people dealing with a situation. And that like this in a lot of ways I think is almost a spiritual sequel to Richard Linklater's Tape. That's another movie I need to show Nathan. But when you watch it, you're gonna be like, oh, we made Tape 2 and kind of, but yeah. But I want to let Nathan talk a little bit, because like this is narratively speaking, this is like Nathan and I 100%. Like this is a Nathan and I movie.
I'm just gonna make the same joke I made last time. Every single time you hear the word "yo" in the movie, that was me. It's the exact same joke, but I mean, to be honest, I'm sitting here, it's like, Caleb, you said it all. Now you're just leaving me in
sorry, I'm so sorry.
You're good. I'm not even mad at you. I'm just like, hell yeah, good job.
Yeah. Well, talk about your guys' writing process.
Yeah.
Because
I'll
when you
let
brought
Nathan
that up,
handle
that
all the
part
writing
was really
stuff.
interesting. I think people should hear how you guys did it.
All right, noted. All right, so how Caleb wrote Not So Amazing is that with him and Gage, they used writer duet. So the way we did it, more for this movie than Not So, is me and Caleb met up. Caleb bought writer duet, and I sat there on a folding table while he was there on his desk, and I was on a laptop, and we just started improvising off each other in a way, and we started almost texting each other through writing, basically. So we would set up the scene, like scene, night, hotel, whatever, anything like that, and then we would write down, like one of us would choose a character, like, okay, you be this person, I be this person. You play David Rivera's character, I play Riley Barker. Damn it, Riley Barker's character, and we just kind of
gonna kill you.
I'm ready for it. But yeah, we would just start working off each other and playing the character while just writing out conversations together.
And you would type back and forth like texting almost on writer duet.
Yes. And the funny part is that both of those, Caleb brought it up yesterday when we did this, is that both of those characters are just basically us combined. Like, we wouldn't just stick to one character the entire time. One writing session, I would come over, or like every scene, we'd be changing it up. Like, all right, this scene, Caleb would ask me, do you want to play this character or this character? And I'd be like, I love this character. He would say this character. And we were constantly switching it up, because there are 2 main characters in the movie that get the entire movie.
Yeah.
And we just worked with those 2. And the entire movie, those characters are basically what Caleb and I brung to the table. And the best part is that they're just so different. But the way we did it is just we sat down with 2 computers, writer duet, and we just kind of started a conversation, basically. We just kind of asked each other questions. We made statements. We made jokes, and we would just wait for the other person to react. And we just like, if we got good reactions from each other, then it would work. Sometimes if it was like, if we disagreed with each other, we would just stop real quick, talk about how this line could be better. And sometimes, you know, me and Caleb, if you've ever heard us on podcasts or in interviews, we have crutch words. For example, yo. And sometimes...
And the forbidden fruit, the F word.
The F word. That's
Friends.
Friends.
Yeah.
We don't have those.
Not the really bad F word.
Just the U one.
I don't want people to...
The bad F word, not the bad.
Yeah. F-U-C-K.
Yeah.
Nathan and I say it way too much.
Yeah, but not... What do you mean? It's
a beautiful word, but we use it for like everything.
Yeah.
It is grammatically, it's a fascinating word because it's a noun, it's a verb, it's an adjective.
It's everything.
It has so many different functions as a word. It's fascinating linguistically.
It's literally like at any moment in the sentence, I could just say it, and you know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, noun, adjective, verb.
I guess that's what that means, isn't it?
Adverb, too.
Yeah, but I appreciate Caleb asking me to co-write it with him. When we were driving back from Portland the first time, it was very surreal because I was like, Caleb, I'm the actor guy. I'm bad at this.
And this script is probably the best script that I've ever been involved in. So I think you proved yourself wrong. Like, I think, because every time you make a movie, you set out to accomplish a certain vision or whatever, and Not So was by far the closest I've ever come to that, and I got very, very close with Not So to exactly what I had in my head. Living with Trevor, probably like 80-85% close to what I had in my head, but I still accepted the other 25 or 15% that wasn't quite what I was expecting. But Hotel, there isn't anything about it that like felt like I'm changing this one thing because we have to. Like, this script is exactly what Nathan and I both were trying to do, and the movie is exactly what we were trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't speak for Nathan with this, but like when we were writing it, what I had in my head is what the movie is right now, and like that's such an amazing feeling.
Yeah, in my head, I was still figuring it out, and I think the first day when we just started writing the first lines, like, I have this idea, and then basically, I think both of us just kind of like met up right in the middle, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
And then like a couple of like grammatical errors in the second one, and a couple of rewrites. It was just the script was there from the first draft, basically. Like all the story beats were there from the beginning.
Oh yeah, we are like you guys. We like, I mean, literally last night was our first improv movie. I mean, for RC Films. You've obviously acted in Granon's improv stuff
and Chlorine.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, for RC Films, what we did last night is our first improv thing. So we are very, very writer. So like, we start with the outline, and then we start writing a script, and like,
you know your characters going in.
We had all the plot beats figured out before we even opened Writer Duet. Like, so, and this outline was basically just a list of conversations and then reordering what we had on paper, and building all those conversations towards a climax that we're not going to get into, but like, all roads are leading somewhere, and you guys will know where it leads when you watch the movie. But
And at what point? So you write the script. I'm assuming you're still working on it until you start shooting. There's little tweaks here or there.
Oh yeah, Nathan and I were tweaking like once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tweak.
So
Stop.
when the film, I guess when the script is done to a point that you feel comfortable, okay, let's move into pre-production more. Start putting the pieces in line and getting everything in order. How long did it take from finishing that version of the script to shooting? What was that process like, getting to rolling cameras?
Yeah, so how many months was it, Nathan? It was way longer than we were expecting. This movie still, the actual process of making it has taken longer just getting to where we could make it, but like once the process finally began, like it's literally only been like 2 months since we filmed this movie, and it's about to be out. So we've achieved what we set out to do, but like it did take a long time to finally get all the schedules to line up.
Yeah, one pre-production thing we could bring up is the Riley thing that we brought up last time.
Yeah, I'll let you do it this time.
Okay, well, you did it better last time. Let's just see. Okay, so I might steal some words from you probably.
That's fine.
So what happened is...
Plagiarism.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Shut up.
Lawsuits are coming any minute now.
But, okay, so the first... I'm not sure if it was the first draft or the second draft we were working on, but we were working on a draft of the script. And we were finally, I think it might have even been like the first draft. We had just gotten done with it because we were like, all right, it's time to find our actress for the movie. And here we were, the day that we were going to sit down to start like putting up flyers and all that. Sure enough, we get a message from this girl named Riley Barker. Yes, I got
through the RC Films Facebook
through
page.
the RC Films Facebook page. And she's like, "Hey, I love Not So Amazing. It's like so great, and I know a lot of my friends in that. I was just wanting to say if there's anything that's coming out, I would love to audition for it, and I would love to check it out." And Caleb and I look at each other like, "Are you kidding me?"
We're literally about to go put up flyers to find this actress, and she's just right here.
Yeah, and then I'm like, all right, well, we need to see the audition, but of course, Caleb and I have this thing where it's like, even before something happens, we have this little tingly feeling inside of us. We're just like, oh, snap, this is a feeling. Yeah. And then, sure enough, she auditions through a voice message, and oh my lord, just astonishes us. We are on the floor laughing. Our jaws are on the ground. It's like she's just so great.
Couldn't be more perfect.
Yeah. We chose the most suggestive scene in the movie to make it. We wanted to choose the most difficult scene to perform, so we could see how she would react.
Well, yeah, and it was also a good way to be like, listen, if you are uncomfortable with this, that's cool. Yes. But this is as bad as it gets. Like if you are comfortable doing this line, you're gonna be able to do the whole movie because
exactly. Yeah.
We're not gonna spoil anything, but the scene that we sent her is like as bad as it gets.
Yeah. It was funny enough. It's like 15 minutes into the movie. I'm imagining. So like that's just a little idea of what it was. Yeah. And it was just a couple lines too. And sure enough, she says them, and we're just like. Well, I guess we don't need to audition anymore.
You got the part.
Yeah. So before you knew it, we were finishing up the second draft, and then it was just on to rehearsals and stuff like that, which you could take over that part. Yeah,
that was a big thing that I wanted to fix about my process with Not So Amazing. We did no rehearsing in that movie, so every time we would do a scene, the first process was handing the script out to everybody and like read these lines for like 20 minutes and then hopefully we can start rolling the camera.
I remember those days.
Yeah. And that is a way to work. It certainly is a way to work. You can do it, but you're 100% handcuffing yourself and it's going to make the shoot go twice as long as it should or whatever. So our goal with this was like, let's get Riley and David. By the way, Riley and David are amazing, and we'll get into them in a second. But, like, let's get them completely rehearsed to the point where we can show up on set and just, like, shoot and not have to worry about anything. Like, if anything, like, maybe they're like, what scene are we at? Let me look at it for 2 seconds so I can remember where we're at in the story. But, like, other than that, so we rehearsed. I will give us this credit. Yes, it took us, like, 6, whatever you said, 6, whatever months it was between when we finished the script and when we shot. We had that time, but we like completely utilized it. We used that entire window of time, and very rarely did we skip a week. It was like every week we would get together and rehearse and so
what day was that? Was it like a Sunday night, Tuesday night?
It was different every time. So Riley she's about to finally be in Yakima again, which is going to be nice because we want to work with her again. But at this time, and even when shooting, and this is a big reason why getting that night where Nathan, me, David, Riley, and my wife and his girlfriend were all lined up perfectly, as Riley lived in Moses Lake, which is like 2.5 hours away from Yakima. So she was committed because she was willing to drive down. I mean, we did a few over Zoom because we didn't want to. We told her, like, listen, it's awesome that you're willing to do this, but like, we need you to know. We don't need you to come down here if you like. We don't want you wasting the gas or whatever. Yeah. She just genuinely wanted to come down, to get the in-person vibes or whatever. But like, so she had to drive down for all of those rehearsals or whatever. and also finding a time where, because we did 3 nights back to back to back. That's how we shot this movie. So finding 3 nights that 6 people could, who all work, aside from me at the time, who all work, finding a day, 3 days, all back to back that we could all give up, and like that's what took forever.
When you rehearsed? That wasn't in person, was it? Or was that over Zoom?
Rehearsing was 50-50. Most of the time in person. So
she would drive down for the rehearsals.
Yep.
Every single time.
Most of the time. There were times where we did. There were times where we did Zooms, and then obviously she was in person for the actual shoot.
Yes.
That might be the most dedication I've heard from.
It's crazy.
An actor.
Yeah.
I think
she was very passionate about it.
The closest thing I could think of for us is, and there's probably better examples, but I remember we were doing My Father Was a Spaceman.
Oh my gosh.
And I was driving with Morgan, and we heard a thump. Just me and her in the car, and I see this flash go past in like my back window, and I was like, "What was that?" And then I realized that was my script binder with all the notes and storyboards in it.
Oh no!
And I pulled over, and before I'm even unbuckled, she's out of the car, running into traffic. Like traffic is zooming past her, like towards her, and she's running towards the traffic, and she snatches up the binder, and she like runs back, and she's like, "I got it."
Oh man!
That binder, we still have it. It is bent to heck. Like it is ruined.
I know.
My God, that's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I think that might. I don't know. That's pretty. I mean, a 2.5 hour drive every single week for the most. Like that's pretty dedicated.
That's another. That's. Oh, sorry. You go ahead, Ethan.
No, I was gonna say we've never had that.
Yeah. I was just gonna say like that's another. Like there's a lot of bests experience wise that Nathan and I had on Hotel, and one of the big ones was like not counting Nathan, because I'm extremely, like, Nathan's my favorite actor that I've ever worked with, but like not counting Nathan, David and Riley are like by far and away my favorite experience I've ever had directing actors. They were like, it was so nice, and like we all had such a good time, and we were all so in sync with what this movie is, and like, yeah, I mean, you know a movie's good when like you know the movie's going to turn out good when like actors actually want to ask you questions about about characters and stuff. And like
Jesus, I'm sorry.
it was just so nice. It was the first time that like Nathan and I ever had that. Like that's not a diss at all to all the amazing actors and not so, because they all killed it, but like you can't expect these things of people that you're asking to shoot a movie for free. So it's 100% not a diss at them. But it is also nice when people are willing to give you that. Like David and Riley weren't paid whatsoever, and like they both treated it like an actor who's getting paid would treat it. They gave it so much time and so much energy, and like I'm forever indebted to them. Like it's insane. They killed it.
It's one of those strange kind of situations to describe, because as filmmakers who are working on no budget or very low budget, we know that drive and that kind of desire to just like, I'm just going to do this huge, massive project. I don't care if I'm getting paid. In fact, I'm losing money on this.
Yeah.
But it just has to get done. The kind of people, I mean, if you're an actor and you care that much about doing it, there are so many opportunities to get paid to do it. You know what I mean? Like take a crap job, do it for some commercial, work on student films and build up your resume, get paid, join SAG or whatever, whatever you want to do. So finding those people, those actors who, or maybe not even actors, like people who just like, I would like to try acting, but I don't want to be an actor. Like finding people as dedicated to your project.
Yeah.
Who are at, like, that's really difficult.
Yeah.
Because at some level, no one's going to care about your film more than you will.
Yeah.
So once you find an actor or anybody who wants to be a part of that team and cares about it almost as much as you, like that's a huge deal.
On an acting standpoint, I'm just gonna say right now is that one of the best things I could say, and like kind of like we don't have to be done talking about it, but one of my closing notes on this basically is that it's like, honestly, some of the strongest people in Yakima, like strongest filmmakers, live in Yakima, even though they're not filmmakers. It's like I think there's an unspoken thing in Yakima where we all have like grown up on movies, like to some extent, and we all love what they mean to us, because like there's not much to do in Yakima, which has been said before, and I've brought up how people...
Be careful what you say, Kate and...
yes.
We love... Nathan and I love Yakima. I honestly... I'm always like, the movies are a subjective thing type thing, but I will go as far as to say, objectively speaking, in Yakima, there's not a lot to do. But that does not mean Yakima is not a beautiful, amazing place to live. It's just like
the people there are the part that keeps you.
Yeah.
It's like there's not like don't be excited. Be like, man, I can't wait to go to Barnes and Noble. What's that? It's like you can't go to Yakima for that. You know, it's like
we used to have one. We don't anymore.
Yeah, we had a Borders.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah, we used to have a Borders, and then they got rid of it years ago. But either way, that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is that the reason why you stay in Yakima is for the people. And then also with that being said, people leave Yakima because of the people. It's like the strongest thing there, no matter what, positive or negative, the strongest thing in Yakima is the people. And we've gotten to see firsthand experience of that through Not So and through Hotel. It's like every person there. Riley isn't even technically a part of Yakima, but she used to live there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically like...
And now
she's moving back, right?
Yeah.
She's moving back.
Okay.
She's going to be there. She's going to be there for the premiere and be fully moved back by that point.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
We're very excited for it. So yes, my thoughts on that is most dedicated people in Yakima. So start hiring, boyos.
And it was also like we've talked a lot about Riley, but it was also so amazing to get to.
Yes.
Like it's going to be an amazing feeling to release this movie and finally show people what David can do because David is so amazing and not so amazing, but he's in like 5 minutes of that movie and it's a very comedic role, so it doesn't register to a normal audience member that like, oh, this guy's like uber talented. Like
from day one from meeting you,
Yes.
I've always been like David is like a diamond in the rough, and people are like sitting on him basically, like in base not sitting on him, but like it's like no, but like
sleeping on him.
Sleeping.
Or no, that sounds worse.
No, I think it is like
they are sleeping on. They're sleeping on his talent. Like,
there it is.
And his. So
no comment.
So the sleeping on his talent, and like that was my thought, and I'm so glad we got him for Not So, and of course he was like amazing per usual.
It was Nathan's. I was 100% down the second he said it, but it was Nathan's initial idea to have David play this character in Hotel. Like
it was supposed to be you originally.
So originally for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, for 5 seconds.
Yeah, Caleb said, "Yeah, you can actually do it." Because at this time, I'm not even gonna lie to you. So real quick, real quick context. So this was before I was offered up the 7 roles this year. So I was going through one of the biggest dry spells as an actor, like especially last year, right after the Doom production. Because I was just talking to you guys, and I was hoping to God that I could be in one of your guys' things.
And also, when Not So came out, that had like literally when Not So released, it had been a year from that point since Nathan had acted. So he was like he had it rough at that point.
I'm not trying to do this to toot my own horn. I just want you guys to know, like, for 5 seconds, I really did think, you know what? Like for 8 milliseconds, I was like, yeah, that's a good idea, because Caleb wanted to ask me. Yes, you should be the one to do it because you haven't acted in anything. But I sat there and thinking to myself, like, saying, I got my shot. And David deserves that because David's such a badass that he needed that. And you know what? It's like, I just wanted, like, I'm willing to throw away a chance for me to act for David to get that because, like, for people like David even, it's like, God, it's like David is amazing.
We've talked about it that, like, definitely not right away because the next movie is our big follow-up to Not So type thing.
Yeah.
But, like, after that, I think we're going to like do kind of a like back and forth thing between these big projects and these small vignette pieces that are like
building up these other actors.
That are like perfect, like because they're so small and so intimate. Like Hotel is the perfect type of movie to show people what David has. And there's other actors like David that we've worked with. Some of them in Not So, some of them people that we just have talked to, where it's like, I want to make more movies like that where it's just characters in a singular location dealing with something that is like the perfect place for someone to start stretching their acting abilities.
Yes. Please forgive me if this is straying so far.
Yeah.
And we can move on to the next thing here in a little bit if we'd like. I'm imagining we're like 30 minutes in or something.
Yep, we're just about
30 minutes.
Okay. Well, actually, it's 30 minutes exactly.
We've talked a lot about Hotel. We're good.
Yeah, I think but I wanted to say that like it's like I have a laundry list of like people in mind for future movies and future projects because like it's like I'm the type of person who like it's like I didn't get like I would go to like theater and people would be like you're too short, but like they wouldn't say that, but like clearly the people who'd get cast for the characters I'm auditioning for were tall, handsome, ripped as heck,
Chiseled.
like
Yeah. Doom Productions. We know.
I was about to say strong jawlines, and that still goes along with it. me and Caleb are a little flabby, but basically, I was given a chance to be like basically a starring role in Not So, and like a side starring role, but still a big role with a name on it. And yeah, I just want to be able to like give that chance to the people who are trying to find the same thing, and people deserve that. That's all we'll say. So that's my thoughts from what we've learned from Hotel. Is that
people don't realize that they have what it takes to do what we're all for doing right now, and that's our goal, is to show them that they're not just capable of it, but that you can excel at it. Like,
That's the truth. Yes.
So this episode will be coming out before Hotel releases.
Yep.
Can you share the release date?
April 29th.
Yeah.
Baby.
April 29th.
Yeah.
On the
Friday?
RC Films channel. Yep. With the exception of this Oscar movie thing, because we're following Joel Haver's rules, RC Films movies always come out on Friday, because I think that is one of the few things that you can take a note from Hollywood that works, because Fridays are when most people have, like, that's the first day for most people's weekends.
Yep.
It's basically like weaponizing this time is when the most amount of people are going to have the most time to go watch your movie.
Yep. Yes.
So it's like, there's a reason Hollywood releases their movies on Fridays. And like, so we're trying to do the same thing, so that it's like, hey, come watch our movie Hotel. There's not really an excuse not to, because it's Friday, and like, if you have a normal, typical job, you're probably going to have it off. So like,
Exactly.
come check out our movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
We do the same.
Closer to the release date, we'll definitely have more of these chats and videos coming
Yeah.
about diving into more spoiler territory and in depth to everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, go subscribe to the RC Boys channel for more hotel updates. Do you consider yourselves active on social media, the RC pages?
We're trying to get more active. Started, like, we've been on this hiatus, but Hotel is going to be the start of basically new and improved RC films. Okay. From when Hotel releases going forward, on Facebook and Twitter specifically, I'm going to talk to Nathan at some point about maybe running an Instagram for us, because you know Instagram more than me. But like, I don't know, maybe even a TikTok. We don't know yet.
Oh,
but
God.
like, I'm not saying you have to run it. I'm not saying
see those RC films dances.
I'm not saying you have to run it, Nathan.
That'd
or
be
anything.
hilarious. They're like, just throwing these on me.
I'm just saying, in general, yes. The plan after Hotel is like, if you want to keep track of us, because we don't do what you guys do. We don't do like the podcast. We don't do weekly YouTube videos. That will be the way to follow what we're doing.
Yeah.
Great. So if you want to be ahead of the game and get a sneak peek and be the first to know when any updates or any changes come to RC channel, you have a Twitter, right?
Yep.
Follow them on Twitter.
RC Films Yakima. And that's same on Facebook.
Yeah. And also, if you guys ever just want to reach out to us, we're mostly on our personal accounts. And
yeah, we do a lot on our personal Twitters too.
yeah, so like Caleb Robinson.
Caleb_Robinson.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm at Nathan Cash.
Yeah.
So there's that. So yes,
Perfect.
if you ever want to reach out.
Perfect. Well, great. Thanks for sharing with us the hotel stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. The thing we did last night.
What are you doing here? Sorry, it's an elephant.
Oh, we didn't do anything last. Oh, you mean the filming thing, not the.
Oh wait, no. This is a kid.
We made a movie together.
Yeah.
By now, I think the movie's out. People can see it.
Yep.
Let's talk about it, I guess.
Yeah, I imagine.
Nathan and I just talked forever, so why don't you guys talk a little bit?
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna shut up.
Have you even looked at the footage yet?
No.
Okay, so just for context for the podcast, we are, as of recording this, we shot this movie last night. We aren't aware what the final movie that you, the listener, have watched. So just know that going in with
Jordan's
what we're
the most
talking
in the
about.
dark too, which is the funniest part, because it was his
I
idea.
think it's going to stay that way for a bit.
God.
If you weren't aware, Joel Haver had a Oscar protest challenge where he challenged all of his viewers, all of fellow filmmakers, to make a movie within the time span of the Oscars, to kind of, again, protest the idea of the Oscars and what Hollywood has become.
Yeah.
And the idea that
a slap in the face to the Oscars, if you will.
Yes. Wait.
the Oscars have become sort of the symbol of, to some folks, of what is wrong with Hollywood. And so Joel says, rather than sit down on your couch and just watch celebrities give each other trophies, go out and make something with your friends, do whatever. He's been messaging our group chat. It sounds like a lot of people have done it so far.
Yeah.
He's gotten a lot of movies so far. Yeah. And so that we did this a part of that challenge. Like as soon as he told us about this
months ago,
like a while ago, like
a month ago,
like a month
before he made his video announcement about it.
Yeah.
And so once he announced that, I think shortly after you guys, Caleb and Nathan, you messaged us and you're like, hey, we should come down to Portland and do a movie. And we're like, okay.
Yep.
And it was going to be okay.
It was going to be a million
lot of ideas.
I'm going to talk about the two big ones.
Yeah.
So
do we want to like release? Like, because like we're going to do them later, probably, right?
Well,
we can talk about
I'm not going to talk. Well, okay, It's not going to be super spoilery, but the first idea was a little sci-fi, drama, sci-fi kind of
thriller a
little bit kind of movie. Which it was written with this. Well, I written a version of it like a year ago, and I was like, hey, this. I would have. Looking back at the project, at the time, I was like, oh, this could actually lend itself really well to being shot within 3 hours. And after we kind of, there was another draft of the script that was written. It was only like 60 pages, something like that.
Yeah.
Once I started doing the script breakdown and everything, like going, okay, so here's all the scenes, here's all the shots, here's the setups, all that kind of stuff. We kind of looked at it and thought, this is way too big.
Yeah.
We can't do this. It's a great movie, not for this.
Deserves more time.
But
too.
It's a movie that we'll try to do later this year at some point. Yeah. It'll be a good, fun weekend project to do. And also on top of that, we didn't have any real locations for this one in mind. And also, it was far enough in advance. Nathan and I, well, at least I personally, I needed a lot of time to prepare for a role and a bunch of lines. So I was like, this is far enough in advance where if we're going to shoot this movie, I need to start prepping these lines now. And because I was like, this project looks a little too big, I was like, okay, we're going to not do the project. We're going to do something else. Because it was kind of like that actor prep time for me, which is really real crunch.
And I was going to be directing, and I was running out of time to get that plan together too.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we didn't end up doing that because of just the spring break had turned.
Yeah, it would have been really hard.
Yeah, so fun project which we'll do at some point, but that one was, what was it? Me and Nathan were in it. You were going to direct, Ethan, and then Caleb was going to edit. That was the idea. Yeah. After that, we had some more ideas. The next big idea...
It was a comedy.
Well...
It was a found footage film.
No.
Yeah.
There was a found...
Oh, right.
Screw it, I'll say it. Video Carnage 2 was gonna
be God!
Dan's gonna Breakfast Club the air right now.
Video Carnage
we didn't tell
2,
you guys that.
And
we have a story to tell.
Collectively, our audience just took a spit take, eating their breakfast while listening to their podcast.
Video Carnage 2 was going to be our Oscar movie.
Yeah.
What happened was we told May about it. May was totally down. Everything, the
stars were lining up.
The stars were all aligned with one thing. One thing came up a week before the Oscars. I messaged May just to double check because we had a long talk with them.
We Zoom call, it was a whole thing.
It was a fun Zoom call, very eventful. We'll get into that later. And Zoom was like, oh my, and May was like, yes, let's do this. I'm excited. Can't wait to do this with y'all.
Yep.
And so a week before the Oscar thing, I messaged May and I just said, hey, are you still good for shooting this Sunday? And they were like, oh my gosh, I totally spaced out. That's my partner's birthday. Which was so funny because that exact same thing happened a year ago when we were shooting Video Carnage. Where we scheduled to shoot on a Sunday and they had to pull out because their part, obviously, you can't miss your partner's birthday. That's
that's 101.
Yeah, you cannot do that. So totally understandable.
Oh my God.
And we were like, well, we can't do Video Carnage 2 without
No.
Sam. It's all Sam and Mike.
Yeah.
So that's a project that will happen at some point. Anyway, I'm usually cryptic about this stuff, but with Video Carnage, it's one of those things now where Video Carnage 2 is all outlined. Mm-hmm. The idea behind the movie is that the majority of it is a found footage movie.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave it at that. So it was meant to be improvised, meant to be shot in real time within 3-hour, 4-hour window. But the way it ends, it kind of, you know, let's just say you can't do Video Carnage 2 and not expect a Video Carnage 3. Like, you have to do...
Yeah, it's all or nothing.
It's either you do Video Carnage Volume 2 and Volume 3, or you just don't do any sequels whatsoever.
Yeah.
So now what I'm kind of thinking, and I have to message May this, or May, if you're listening, this is the new plan. The idea is, rather than immediately go out and try to shoot Video Carnage Volume 2, I want to take some time to prep Video Carnage Volume 3 and shoot them essentially back to back. Where one day... yeah, exactly. So out of the entire shooting schedule of this, you know, the Video Carnage sequels, one of those days is for Video Carnage Volume 2, but then the all you know, 20 days of shooting, or however many days we end up shooting, that's all dedicated to Video Carnage Volume 3.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the idea as of now. That's not saying we will absolutely do this within this
We
year
have no
or next
promises
year.
tied to this.
No promises. It's one of those things where there's a couple projects in between now and that Video Carnage thing, but it's one of those things. Could we film Video Carnage Volume 2 whenever? Absolutely, but we can't do. I would hate to film Video Carnage Volume 2 and then lose steam, and then Video Carnage Volume 3 never happen.
Yeah.
Because it'd be kind of rude to the audience the way it ends. Have you all read the treatment for it?
I haven't yet.
Yeah.
I was about to, and
So
then
you
we
read it.
shifted projects again.
Yes.
So then I
Yeah.
was like, okay, we got to focus on the next
well,
thing.
you all are in for a surprise.
Okay.
It's actually, I love the ending. I think it might be a better ending than the first video.
Okay.
called.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
I'll,
good.
I'll read it
We're gonna
soon.
read it today.
Anyways, so once May was, you know, their partner's birthday was on the 27th, we were like, okay, so we can't do Video Carnage Volume 2. So what can we do? And we kind of went back and forth on a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of redundant to just focus on every idea
Yeah.
we went on. But essentially, we kind of had this unspoken plan of just like, okay, we're just going to show up. RC Boys, they're going to show up on Saturday. We're going to go out to eat. We're going to each bring our own idea. We're going to pitch it to each other. And then we'll vote on one of those ideas to do. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
We did a full Survivor style where we like wrote out on a piece of paper whose name we're voting for. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a whole thing.
Yeah. And
Found out you can't vote for yourself.
So do we want to go through each of our pitches, or do we want to hang on to them for now?
I
I think we'll hang on to
Yeah,
that.
I don't
man.
think it's important.
so personally, I'm like, I'll just drop mine right now.
I mean, whatever. I want to keep mine because I think I'm still going to do it eventually.
Cool.
All right, never mind. In that case, then
Yeah.
I won't just bring up one of them and then leave out an
Yeah.
RC Film Boy.
Oh, I will say then, the pitch we ended up doing was mine.
Yes.
My idea was purely like production level. I thought it'd be fun to do. My idea was that it's a pseudo, not documentary, but just kind of very lockdown tripod kind of movie where things feel very natural and real. Where essentially there's one character who's a musician who works at a studio, who has like a window of time to record a song, and so he asks his non-musician friends to come over to help him play through the song together. And I teach guitar. That's something I've done for a long time. I play guitar, bass, drums, all that kind of stuff. So I thought it'd be fun in real time just to teach you three how to play through this song. And the idea, and there was no kind of ideas of story other than that. Just a guy invites his non-musician friends to play a song with them. And so we would film it in real time of me just teaching you guys the song. And that's what we did. And
Everything else we made in the moment in
Yeah.
decisions for
The
acting.
actual narrative happened
Yeah.
while we were just doing
Yes.
the stuff.
And a lot of it we didn't like talk to each other about beforehand. We'd all just made decisions for our characters and went with it,
Yeah,
which was really fun.
Yes.
it was great.
Agreed. Yes.
Yeah,
I...
but you can keep
my,
talking
well,
about
my
the production.
perspective on it was,
Yeah,
in
just-
terms of production, I love teaching. I love music, so teaching music is so much fun. And so I had a lot of fun teaching just the music to these guys. But at a certain extent, I realized when we were shooting, I was like, I can't be a filmmaker and a teacher at the same time. Like, because it was like either we neglect the movie or I neglect like the music, and it turns into something else or whatever. And so I just wanted to, I'll just focus on teaching these guys the music because there's 3 other filmmakers here with me. They can, do whatever. So my perspective on the whole shoot, which was, it was like 4 hours or 3 hours.
It was like 3.5.
3.5 hours. For that entire 3.5 hours, I just taught you guys the song like I would teach any group of people.
Yeah.
And so it was fun, but it was exhausting. And at a certain point, I just kind of, I totally just was like, forget about the movie. I just want to teach these guys a song, essentially. And teaching-wise, hey, I thought they did pretty great. Like, I thought they did pretty good. You never know with, like, how someone will do with music, especially if they've never done it before. Well, Ethan's a musician. He knows. That's
I'm
the
a
only
musician,
thing.
but not a drummer.
So Ethan played. Yeah, that's why Ethan plays the drums, because he doesn't. That's the instrument he's not familiar with. But it was fun. You never know what someone's musical skill would be, and I've been in situations where students will take a really long time to learn a 3-chord progression, but you guys were able to pick it up pretty quickly. And while this is the teacher me speaking, while I'm not entirely satisfied with like what we, by the end of the movie or the end of the night, we didn't have like a song that was ready to be released. What we had though, we were perfectly on track, where if we had another session or another 2 sessions, oh boy, we'd be ready to perform that thing.
Oh yeah.
It'd be so, like, what I say is, they know the verse, they know the intro, they know the chorus, they know the bridge, they know all the notes. It's literally just dynamics to work on. And honestly, I'm kind of bummed that, we don't have. Yeah, I know we leave. Because it'd be fun
2 hours.
It'd be fun to take another couple hours just to hash that out and like be like, hey, here's the complete the song. So
I played it this morning. Actually, I was practicing it a little bit at work because I had the kit there.
So it was fun to do play the music and all that. And it's not like, I want to make it clear, like, you guys don't suck as musicians, and not what I'm trying to say, and I would never say that. But
I mean, we had never played an instrument before tomorrow, so the fact that we were a little rough is not a surprise.
Well, it's not, and it's not even. I don't even say that you're rough. The idea is, we are perfectly on track to, like, if the goal is, let's see, what's the best way to put it? If this was a marathon, if learning the song and like getting it to the point like, hey, we're ready to record this thing or perform it live, if we're perfectly on track with the trajectory. Like if we had 2 days to do this, we're like perfectly at the halfway point. Like we're so on time, we're so on track to do this.
So we're doing good with the amount of time we had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
with
yeah.
the amount of I would say even better than that.
Because Jordan and I have taught band camp before. We've taught in this kind of setting. We've both seen groups that take a lot longer to pick up songs that they've heard before.
I think we were all laser focused on like, whatever this movie's going to be, let's make it as good as it can be. So that probably had an aspect.
I've seen groups take 4 days to do this kind of song.
Okay.
Yeah.
And struggle with that, and that's not a bad thing. Everybody learns at a different pace. So
it just let it be an absolute compliment to you guys to say that what we accomplished was really good.
Yeah. And I really wish we had another day, because like, the musician in me.
Yeah.
And by the end of that night, for me personally, I was so mentally fried because I'm like, okay, I just learned the song. Wait, what the heck is happening with the movie? Like I was like, wait, are we doing? There were points where I was like, are we recording? Are we not recording?
That was all of us. There were parts where none of us knew if the cameras were still rolling, if we were in character or not, having conversations.
Truly a Joel Haver movie.
Yeah, oh my god.
There were things that you would say to me, and I'd be like responding to you as me, Ethan, but then later like we chatted, and I was like, oh, that was Caleb. As a normal, like, as the character.
Yeah.
I was just talking to him.
Since the movie's gonna be out, literally, there's a part where I'm like, literally like, oh yeah, I brought Transformers Jenga.
I thought you were talking I thought that was true. I was like, oh, that's a weird thing for Nathan to have brought. Okay.
Like, Ethan was apparently said he was about to ask me, we should go get that shot real quick for the end of the movie.
I was ready for us to have a scene where we all played Jenga. I thought you were serious. I was like, yeah, this makes sense. Let's go play Jenga.
My favorite part of that, of like what's real and what's fake, is there is a part where I don't know if the scene's in the movie because I haven't seen anything, but there's a part where I was showing Nathan a guitar or a keyboard part, and he kept switching too early to the next note.
Yeah.
And I was like, he kept doing it over and over, and I knew we were filming this movie, and I was like, wait, is Nathan the character not getting this, or is Nathan the person not getting this?
I remember that.
Either way, I was like, it didn't matter because I just taught it like I would. And in the end, it ended up being a my error because I didn't write the right note. I didn't write the right thing on his paper.
Oh my God.
Like the measures were
so
wrong,
it actually it probably made for a really fun scene.
Yeah. I was yucking it up the entire time that time. I just got like really pissed off at you as my character because you just kept on like being like, I know I'm switching too early, but I'm reading what you're doing. Oh my God.
No, but it was great because there's definitely points where I'm like, I remember after we would call cut or whatever, we'd be like, should we cut there? Yeah, we'll cut there. After I'd be like, okay. At one point I was like, okay, how much do you guys know this part and how much like I think I asked you guys at one point.
You did.
What do you like musically? What do you know? What do you not know? Or like what's
where are we?
Yeah, where are we? Because I was like. Because again, I was in teacher mode. I wasn't in movie mode or whatever.
Yeah, I've played the piano just a little bit. I never actually said that before because I mean, in character, I was like, I've never done anything musically. That's a lie. Also, in the movie, actually, I did do quite. Either way, the point is, I have played the piano a little bit, so there'd be parts where I just like intentionally miss a note, like because character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But but again, I think. I mean, not to keep. I feel like I'm hogging all the spotlight here.
No, you're good.
Honestly,
it was your idea. The movie was your idea.
You have the most interesting perspective also because you haven't watched through the footage and we did last
This is
night.
a very interesting arc because it's like Jordan's idea. We go shoot it, and for at least 40% of it, Jordan's 100% in the driver's seat, and then eventually we basically all end up directing it.
Yeah.
And by the end, Jordan's comfortable with just disowning the movie and going home, and then we go home and we watch and we watch dailies with Ethan, and all three of us are like, this is gonna be like one of our best movies.
Yeah.
What happened?
So okay,
because just before you move on from there, by the end of the movie, by the time we were done shooting, I was so mentally drained from teaching, and I was like. They were like, yeah, we got a movie. And I'm like, all we did was just play through the song.
Yeah.
It's not even fully finished song. Not that that's a bad thing. We're on track to like get there.
Works in the movie's favor. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, it's good.
And I'm like, I didn't feel like we accomplished anything really. I was like, that was an awesome jam sesh. I don't know if that was a good filming session, if that made sense.
Yeah.
So it's still, even right now, I'm like, I have no idea what we have.
Yeah.
Because originally I was going to edit it.
Yeah.
And by the end of that, I was like, I have no idea what we have. I don't have a vision for this movie. I have a vision for the song, but not the movie. Yeah. So I asked you, Caleb, to edit it.
Yep. And that's the plan. I'm going to get home tonight and start.
So I actually... Okay.
And so that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
We've made our case worse, though, because basically we were sitting there last night watching through the footage, and Caleb was like, put it in black and white, and I'm like, oh no. Because like they're like, what? So yeah, this is like literally a spiritual sequel to Oh Brother.
Here's the thing, though.
You bastards. I hate that movie.
Look,
you better hide this hard drive from me. You better make sure I don't find it.
Oh my god.
Is this the same character from Oh Brother? Is my character the same character?
Well, maybe.
Not at all. Not at all.
No. Caleb, go say what you're gonna say.
I was gonna say two things. One, me asking Ethan to put the black and white on had nothing to do with Oh Brother. Yes. I just thought it would look amazing, and it did.
It looks really good.
And then two, this like Nathan is only saying that because you were slightly leaning towards I don't care if this movie happens, and then it's also in black and white. Outside of those two things, it couldn't be farther from Oh Brother tonally. It is like. I'm not exaggerating when I say it is a Joel Haver movie.
Yes.
Like, we all four made a Joel Haver movie and we didn't realize it, but it's a Joel Haver movie. Yes. Like, that's the genre.
I'm really excited for like the little vignettes though. Like, I mean, everyone.
Yeah, and Jordan hasn't seen those.
Know about.
Jordan hasn't seen those. You haven't even seen the story. That's the thing. Like,
I will say, I'll feel comfortable saying this right here, right now. Just at this point in time, I'm like, I'm okay if this movie never comes out.
Yeah.
Because again, from my experience. We had an awesome jam sesh. We had an awesome jam sesh. Yeah. I'm so happy we did that. I love playing music with friends and and people I
We
love
haven't
and
done it
care
in a
about.
long time.
Yeah.
Haven't done it in a long time with COVID and everything. I absolutely love that. But as the filmmaker in me is like, I don't think we got anything of value, so I'm cool if we just never release the footage.
Yeah.
Well,
Will
don't
you
worry.
okay, wait, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
This is the interesting this is the take.
This is where it gets spicy.
Are you gonna watch the movie when it's done?
Oh.
Because you haven't watched See You Soon
Look,
yet.
look
Maybe.
Caleb in the
Look
eyes.
at the look of that
It's
face.
okay. It's okay.
No, look Caleb in the
I
eyes.
I
genuinely-
don't care if you
I
don't
want to
watch
make sure
mine.
Jordan's comfortable. Like that's
Okay,
what.
okay.
Yeah, that's why I offered to edit it. I didn't want to put Jordan in a
Here-
corner.
Here's the thing. I treasure that jam sesh so much.
Yeah.
I would hate to watch it and it be something I don't care for.
Oh, oh gosh, I'm so sad. right
Like,
now.
I would hate for it to be like, oh, brother. You know what I
It's-
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what we have. So I'm so curious. I
Well, I feel like you might be really removed from it.
I have a
Yeah.
question. How would you feel about before Nathan and I leave today? Because like our vignettes aren't that long.
Yeah.
How would you feel about watching a couple of the vignettes and then answering after that? Because that's gonna paint a very clear picture for you
Okay.
on what this movie is tonally.
Just to make people come back to your podcast, basically the next episode after this should be your thoughts on the movie.
On the movie?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh man.
I don't know.
This is so exciting.
I kind of want to stay in the dark.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch dailies.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
great.
Okay.
I don't know if
I didn't know how I felt until I watched the dailies either. I felt it more in your camera. I was like, I mean, I thought there was something, but I was also like so exhausted.
Skim through it
But
when it
once
comes
we
out.
watched through them,
Skim through it when it comes out because I think you will be surprised. Even if it's not your type of movie, I feel pretty confident that you're not going to feel like Oh Brother with it. I think you'll just be like, it's not the type of movie I would direct on my own, but like I don't think you're going to be upset that you were involved in it. Like,
Well, again, I think it's easier. Well, again, I don't know the footage we have, but like, if I look at it like a documentary kind of thing, or like the Beatles thing, they just set up the cameras and they
that's the vibe.
and they like that's really interesting and that's cool. I think, and I mean, it's hard to say of what I imagined because I didn't even have an inkling. I was like,
Yeah.
because there was no vision, I don't think, other than just like the guys get together, but I'll
Yeah.
teach you guys the music in real time.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I expected. At the same time, so it's weird to say. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Those vignettes are scenes between Nathan, Ethan, and I, and it's the breaks during the session. So like the audience is gonna find out like tiny things. There isn't like a huge narrative to this, but they're gonna find out tiny things that are going on outside of this jam session, and it frames the jam session as like this really like therapeutic thing for all of us, and like. That was, I think, all of our subconscious, because like I think at the point that we started doing these scenes, I think Jordan was already checked out.
Yeah.
Nathan, Ethan, and I think we're all like, okay, how Jordan's checked out. How are we going to narratively tie a bow on this movie or whatever? And
but
so
that
I
was
think,
hardly even a discussion
yeah,
we had.
I know that's what I'm saying. It was all subconscious. Like
Yeah.
we all knew what needed to happen.
Okay, so like I'm not gonna lie to you, this is gonna sound funny out of context, but like the first one we shot was between me and Ethan,
Yeah.
and for some reason why we were being me and Ethan were just being escorted to this room, and we're like, okay, just act together now while Caleb and I work together. What? Okay, and then basically me
we
and
just
Ethan
sat down and hit record.
yeah, and me and Ethan just started we were alone in a room, and
then there's one
magic
with
happened.
There's one with Nathan and I in the bathroom where the audience is gonna, and this is after the movie's already out. This is a podcast, so
Yeah.
I can talk about this. Where the audience is gonna.
Don't spoil it for me.
Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna spoil it, but you're gonna find out that like the Nathan up on stage isn't necessarily how Nathan is feeling inside or whatever. And then I'm just going through a completely completely different situation that has nothing to do with anything. But like
Our interpretation of the band, the jam sesh, is character to character is the
Yeah.
thing that makes it so
yeah,
interesting.
and then the fact that you're not in those actually works for the movie because we're all having these separate things, and you're the one who actually has your stuff together, and you're just trying to make a song. And like Ethan's character respects that. I'm just kind of here, and like
And then
it's
Nathan's
very
paranoid.
yeah. It's gonna work so well, and like I think it's in the spirit of what this whole competition was. I don't think anybody who made a movie last night like maybe Dan because it was a one take, but I think very few filmmakers who made a movie last night while making it were like, this is the clear vision for what it falls into place because of the hand you're dealt by making a movie in 3 hours. And it's like, it's just a really cool experiment. And like, I like how our experiment turned out. It was cool.
All the tweets I've seen from people who have participated been like terrified and be like, I don't know what I just made.
Yeah.
Or like,
That's how
I
we are
did not
too.
finish. And it's so encouraging to see everyone have the same experience.
Yeah.
And that
we are not alone.
And yet it's still a success.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it was very cool. Yes.
We're going to see a lot of movies in a similar vein to what we made, where it's like, while they made it, they had no idea what they had, and it happened to be this beautiful little character piece. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Wow.
and each of those vignettes is like almost 10 minutes. So like, we
Some
have a
are
movie.
longer.
We have a movie.
You have like 30 minutes right there.
Yeah. And then like, we basically filmed the entire jam session. So like, we definitely have a movie. It's a 40-minute movie probably, but we have a movie.
Yes.
Oh, I think it could be longer.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think we're gonna hit. I think we're gonna hit 60 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily edit it in, like, we have the footage to make it as long as any of us could ever want. It's just a matter of like, what are the most entertaining.
Let's place bets right now because the audience knows.
Yeah.
65 minutes.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Okay.
I could see that.
What do you think, Jordan? You
How
haven't
long
seen
do I
any
think? I haven't seen any footage.
Yeah, he's at the disadvantage.
Just going with the information that
arbitrarily-
we have 3 vignettes and they're roughly 10 minutes each, and then what we filmed.
By the way, the winner.
I
they
know. Okay, if there's collaboration like,
Yeah.
on the editing wise, I think the first cut will be like 70 minutes.
Uh-huh.
But I think the movie, this is all going off of things you said. The movie in my head is stronger as a 55-minute movie.
Okay.
Get, okay.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't need to be an hour and a half. I will
No,
say that.
No, that's too long.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys know this, but just if you have 4 amazing things, take out 3 of those amazing things, and that first amazing thing is going to be like
Better.
even better.
Yeah.
That's like that goes.
That's
for
a good editing tip.
That's any editors out there.
Yeah.
If you have 4 amazing scenes, and they're not like absolutely crucial or something like that. I don't know. It depends on the project, but like take out 3 of those amazing things, and that first thing's gonna feel so much stronger.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, my theory is very oddly specific. I'm gonna say 47 minutes, 36 seconds.
36 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
Back Nathan Cash crackhead energy over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be so close. You watch, and then
He always is. He always is.
Or it's gonna be the Joel Haver thing, where I'm like, I actually lost $5 because of it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. In the documentary, hello, and then also, now it's Caleb. What do you think? What do you think the runtime's gonna be?
Well, hey,
Probably
hold up.
somewhere
he's got
between-
He's got the most to gain from being right because he's the editor.
I am going to edit. I'm going to make the movie the best I feel it's going to be. I would never. It will at least be 40 minutes because it's going to be eligible. I will not let it be under 40 minutes, and I think it would be a mistake to make it under 40 minutes.
I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Understand this, Caleb. I'll give props to Caleb. I was the kind of person who was like, Cotel's gonna be an hour and 30 minutes, and Caleb was like, no, it's gonna be an hour and 10. An hour and 40 minutes later, he's like, damn it.
48.
An hour and 40 minutes later.
I'm
48
incapable of not making long movies, but I think the max this is going to be is an hour.
And that's also why you're better suited to edit this than I am, than the original plan, because me being like so like in on the behind the scenes of the music itself, I don't know what's interesting to most people, any non-musicians.
Yeah, I have a very, very outside perspective.
Since you're not a musician, that makes you a better choice to edit this, because something that I think is just, oh yeah, that's just a normal boring thing, I'd cut that out right away. You might be like, oh my gosh, that's like the most interesting thing out of this little 15-minute clip. I'm only using that.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting when a director or an editor or whoever, they are, I guess, making a film about something that they aren't like expert on.
Yeah.
Like if what was it, Nicholas Winding Refn, he doesn't know how to drive a car. But he made Drive, which is like one of the best, like,
that's awesome.
I'm a getaway driver movies out there. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah. This will be the first movie that I didn't solely direct that I'm editing. So I'm excited. Like I've always wanted to do that. So
Yes,
it's very neat.
Fun stuff. Well, the movie's out by now. Check it out.
The name is Crescendo. No, it's
The
not.
name might be.
yeah, we're
really?
still figuring it out. But
Bleep
like
it out.
if Jordan likes it, then yes, basically.
It
needs to be a
might
group
not see
decision.
the movie, so call it whatever you want.
Okay. It's probably going to be, I think Ethan, Nathan, and I have all been like, Crescendo sounds really good.
I'm fine with it. Yeah. I think it
Oh
sounds.
man, I'm so excited.
Check out Crescendo. It's on the RC Films channel.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
They have Hotel coming out soon.
Yes.
If you have any questions about anything in this process, maybe we'll do another, video or
We'll do something.
podcast. We'll do something talking about this.
Maybe a live stream.
Maybe a live. That would be kind of fitting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Never
we'll do
done that.
something. If you have questions, leave it down below. Oh my gosh, should we do the what are you watching? What are you working on?
Yes.
We kind of just talked about what we're working on.
Yeah. So we worked on that,
We worked on that.
and then hotel and
Yeah.
yeah.
You two just watched something
Yes.
today. Actually.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, Ethan and I were
You
at
can
work.
take it, Nathan. We
Oh,
both
yeah.
were there,
Well-
so what Nathan says is what Nathan and I just watched.
Oh, damn. Okay. So basically, we went to go watch the Oscar short films. Actually, we went to the Living Room Theater, which is a fantastic theater here in Portland,
Yeah,
Oregon.
we loved
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
It's a
I
good
can't see you soon. Did not lie.
The vibe is like what Nathan and I need in Yakima.
Yeah, it's so sad we don't have it.
The
But
water thing made us like lose
Oh
our
my-
minds.
like the
when he was like, "Hey, you can just take a cup of water, like a like really like nice cup of water to the like." It
Yeah.
was like,
It's a good
what?
place.
yeah, we have questionable water fountains at the theaters in Yakima. Like that was fantastic.
Yeah.
So the movie we watched was a compilation of all the Oscar short films, the ones that were nominated yesterday, and all of them were fantastic. There was one that didn't stick well with us, but even then, that one was fantastic too. It was nice because we're at this place now where we have friends who are doing the traditional Hollywood way, and we get sad because we're scared of them not being able to find any happiness through that. So watching those short films is like the closest thing to seeing people at our level making it, basically, and we can't help but just feel so happy for those people who made
Right.
these movies from different parts of the world.
With an opposite philosophy as us, but like they're still our filmmaking brothers and sisters.
Yes.
They just have different. They have a different definition of success, and the ones that we watched tonight found it. And like
there are some
that was
people.
cool.
There are some people who will never find their definition of success technically, but it's nice to know that we sat there knowing that at least they made it to the Oscars and got a nomination. We don't even want to know who won the category because we just can't help but
They're all winners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They made it to the Oscars, which is insanity. As much as that is like a flawed system, it's the fact that the Oscars like chose them. It's crazy though because like we thought to ourselves like the short films that the Oscars picked were almost better than like some of the features the Oscars were picking even. So like to an extent.
I will. My favorite thing about that experience, and like it makes me jealous of you guys because I'm sure Portland does stuff like that all the time. There's probably short film festivals that you can just go buy a ticket for and
there's an independent hump festival.
What?
Oh man.
Porno film festival.
Oh,
here.
man.
We got a film festival for everything.
That's
in
crazy.
We
Portland.
got all of them, man.
That's
It's Dan Savage or Dan Humphrey. I can't remember his name.
That's
It's something
insane.
someone's Hump Festival, and
that's
it's at
crazy.
Cinema 21, I believe.
Holy
That's
crap!
insane.
Yeah.
Everyone's got something
Yeah.
here. It's crazy.
The experience
Portland.
was so cool, and like I'm always a feature film guy, so like I love feature films. So this is not a diss at feature films, but it was so nice to sit down for a feature film length experience where we got to taste 5 different flavors basically.
Yes.
It was like a cinematic 5-course meal, and they were all 5 from different parts of the world too. So it was like trying 5 different types of food, and just like each one was a radically different experience from the last.
There was like Poland, U.S., Britain. It's like the other 2 I forgot. Like Indonesia was like one of them.
I think Switzerland was one of them.
Switzerland was the first one, I think. Wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. It was just such a cool experience.
Yeah.
Nice.
I highly recommend.
And seeing those short films presented on a big screen
Not
like that
watching
too.
it on YouTube.
Yeah, because that is where they're gonna live from now on. So I feel like we got to experience a really like special once in a lifetime thing with those specific films.
On God, in all honesty, it is criminal to watch those any screen smaller than like a big screen TV.
Yeah,
it's
some of them are like genuinely like insane visually.
Yeah, like they're beautiful. That's
Yeah.
all we'll say.
Nice.
But that's like the most recent thing we watched.
Yeah.
for the most
Nice.
part.
Yeah. What have you watched? I guess it's been a while since we've done a What Are You Watching together.
Yeah, we haven't.
What have you been watching? Because I actually don't know.
Have I been watching? Oh man, Sarah and we've been watching Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because I haven't watched the last season yet, and then we're also, I guess, talked about this in my podcast, my house podcast, but you weren't there for that.
No, I haven't listened to that one.
That's fine. It's a filler episode.
Oh my God.
And then it's not what I have watched. Like the things I'm planning to watch, I feel like is the more interesting thing for me. So it's like it's catching up on all these shows. Like I'm going to jump into the next season of Ozark soon, and then once I finish that, I'm going to jump into Better Call Saul.
Nice.
I'm kind of
the final season's coming out in April.
I know, so it's going to be good timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are the big things I'm looking at right now for watching. And then, I mean, everything else on my list is like checking out these Oscar feature films that are coming out.
Yeah, we're all gonna have to set aside like a week.
I know, there's gonna be too many.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up to this point too, like we don't even know how many are gonna come out of this like machine.
We know at least 10 or 12 so far
Yeah.
have already been submitted to
Just
Dole.
watching the ones from people that we're all friends with is gonna be like a week in and of itself because like Matt Berry made one, Cody made one,
Horror
Dan
Films
made
made
one.
one.
Like we got a lot of movies to watch.
Not Ethan.
Thank you. I did.
Yeah, yeah,
Ethan
Ethan
Stevens.
Stevens. That's like
Dude, that's a crazy. Yeah, third feature film while he's working on the other one as well.
yeah.
Jesus, he's crazy.
It's
Madman.
a stacked thing of just good filmmakers making good movies and having a good time.
Here's a fun one, real quick. Kind of like maybe the last closing question is, what do you
Jordan
think?
still has to say what he's watched.
Okay, continue. I'll hold on to my question.
Well, mine's not very exciting. So it was spring break for us last week. So
Yeah.
I watched in one day. I watched Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh my god.
Nice.
I
For the
watched it all in
anniversary?
day for the anniversary.
Yep.
It came out on the 18th. I couldn't watch them all on the 18th because I had work, but I watched it on the 19th, and I finished storyboarding at the same time, like during that.
Yeah.
Then I watched all the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh my
God.
god.
That was fun. I did that Tuesday and Wednesday. I
Oh
just
my
turned the
God.
phone off pretty much and just unplugged everything in my room.
Yeah, I got engaged. You didn't
I
even
know.
text me.
You
He's just watching Desolation.
But you already knew what was happening. I don't
loses
care.
his
Yes.
mind.
You already knew.
Smaug.
you called me. I think because in
Is this
between
Smog?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's supposed to pronounce Schmaug,
Smog.
Even worse.
but like smog is
Okay.
it's colloquial. It's like
Yeah.
Cthulhu. Like it
Yeah.
should. That's how you say it, even though it's intended to be like Cthulhu or whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, that was. I mean, talk about getting sucked into a world, just like big saga. That's always nice. And then in between the movies, I turn my phone on. I saw you called, and I saw the messages. Texted you. Then I had to get back on my journey. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. I forgive you.
The Doom Productions way, everyone.
Don't expect me to text you and you and Amanda get engaged.
Then did I watch anything else?
Oh my god.
Those are the big things. I did watch. Okay, then I saw. This is typical. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. Just look it up, and you guys will think it's hilarious and typical of me. It's on Disney Plus. It's called A Tale of Two Critters. I watched that.
It's raccoons.
I will neither confirm nor deny it.
So if you
I
need
didn't know about
if
it,
you
I'm
need
just
Jordan to
assuming.
watch your movie, just make it about raccoons because then he'll have to watch
Wait,
it.
Yes,
a
that's
Tale of
true.
Two Critters. That's about the mom and the on the beach, right?
Incorrect.
Okay, never mind. Okay, I was thinking of another one.
Then I saw Spirited Away to Omzi, and then I saw The Lost City, the new Sandra Bullock movie.
I forgot about
dude,
two
how was
movies.
it?
That one was actually really funny.
Okay, interesting.
It's like tonally it felt like Jumanji, like that kind of humor, but there's some really funny stuff with a certain. It's in the Brad Pitt's in the movie.
Okay,
and he's
yeah.
absolutely hysterical. Like
That's
his
awesome.
Stuff. There's a
That-
lot of good gags.
That movie looks like it's like from an era of movies that Hollywood doesn't make anymore. So like if you want those types of movies again, this is like one of those rare chances to go support it and maybe
Yeah.
you'll get more.
I'll
Like,
probably watch it at some point.
And this is a weird specific thing, but like Channing Tatum's like 41, Sandra Bullock's almost 60. How many times do you see a romantic comedy where it's like this much older woman with this younger guy?
Yeah.
That's kind of rare. I mean, they both look great and everything,
Yeah.
but it's like as I was watching this, I was like, wait, she's been making movies since like the 80s, hasn't she? And he just started making movies, right?
Yeah. Channing Tatum's back too, which is exciting. He like this year I think that movie Dog that I haven't seen, and then there's also that movie.
Yeah, no, those good movies. Fun. It was fun, really good.
Cool. I totally forgot. I had 2 movies that I watched that I did not mention at all. I watched Castle in the Sky and Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yes. Did you see those at OMSI?
No, Sarah and I watched them at the Coast.
Okay.
It was her first time seeing Castle in the Sky, that's
the music in that one is so good.
It's one of the ones I grew up on. I grew up on that and Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle.
Were they playing sub or dub at the OMSI?
Both. You could choose. They would say if it was sub or dub.
Cool.
Yeah, they're good. They treat you right here. But Kiki's Delivery Service, I've only seen. That was my second time ever seeing it.
It's a good one to watch at the Coast.
It's fantastic to watch at the Coast,
Yeah.
and it's a movie that I appreciate more and more each time I see it, because the first time I saw it, I was like, all right, where's the plot?
And now
I'm like, yeah, no plot, let's go.
Yeah, great.
So it's great. I love that movie.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I guess Nathan, did you have a closing question?
Yes. So we can make it quick. We can ramble or whatever we want to do. But basically, I want to make this a time capsule now. This podcast, the end of this podcast.
Oh, okay.
So, just randomly, just that would make history real quick. No, but
okay.
I'm already engaged, Nathan.
Damn it, we can end it here. No. But I was thinking, what are your predictions for with all this folk filmmaker, indie filmmaker, Oscar stuff? Do you think we're actually going to see something from this, or do you think I mean, is it going to be another day at the office?
I do.
What do you mean by do we see anything?
Get specific.
What's going to happen? What's the next step from here? What do you think the effect? So the cause that has happened here is that over 10 to 15 people have made feature films in one night, and
more than that.
Yeah,
more than that. This is the ones we know of.
Yeah, the ones we know of is 10 to 15
during a very specific period of time.
This is the Monday after. This is the morning after.
It is a full this project is a protest.
So literally, the audience might know. The audience listening to this right now will know what happened for the most part afterwards, and basically this will be our predictions. The date. So the date is March 28th. Again, the afternoon, the evening after it happened.
It's 24 hours after.
Yeah, literally 24 hours after it happened. What do you think? What is the effect of this gonna do? What do you think? Basically it's predictions for the next thing that might happen or might start or something like that.
My answer to you saying what is the next step after this is the next step. I think this is we're gonna look back in a year and this is gonna be the biggest pillar so far for folk filmmaking and YouTube filmmaking. I think this is a big thing, and that's why I wanted us to all be involved. It's not a clout thing. It's just I wanted us to be there.
Yes.
I want us to be able to look back and not a thing of we made the best one, just we were there. We got to experience that with all of our fellow.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we got to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure if anyone wants to go next immediately, but basically, I'll go then. What you guys
Please.
think? Okay, sweet. But usually I take more time to think, but off the top of my head, I definitely feel like if something is going to come about this, maybe even the audience doesn't know yet. So who know? Here's the thing though, we made a lot of movies, and in all honesty, we will find out when the movies are released, because not only will Joel Haver be screening these movies and presenting awards to people, but we will all be basically uploading these movies onto our personal YouTube channels. So in basically the same day, all of these feature films are going to be uploaded in the same day. I mean, if there's a way for us to coordinate it, I would dare say we should all. People
are already uploading theirs. I think
that's not possible.
Yeah.
Someone already uploaded theirs today.
Holy
but
crap!
People have.
Yeah. But it's
crazy.
Sorry, I will let you keep saying what you're saying. But my last comment on my end is if there was a time this year where some outlet was gonna pick up a story about folk filmmaking, this is it.
Yes.
This is the time, because
Yes.
Joel Haver has a huge audience, and he's going to basically be like, we just did this award thing. Here's a playlist of all these movies that were shot during the Oscars.
Yes.
Like, that is an inherently interesting story for an outlet to pick up. So, like,
Agreed.
I think that's entirely possible.
Yeah.
But
The fact that I think it sucks because, like, I think what's going to happen right after this, right as soon as everything is out there and the next Joel Haver video comes out, I think this will be. I think I agree with you mostly, Caleb. I think that's where I'm at. I almost don't know if there's anything else I really can say. It's like I feel like I don't even know. It sucks because, like, I asked this question and I really didn't even know the answer.
while you're thinking, you guys.
Yeah.
I was hoping to glean something from your guys' answers.
Sweet. I think Caleb.
I feel like I know what I would like to happen. And what I would like to happen is that more people who are not filmmakers discover the magic that is independent films on YouTube that they can watch.
Yeah.
So that's what I would hope, that more normal people like my aunts and cousins, or like, my coworkers or whoever. I hope more normal people are like, wait, you can make movies online for free, and they go click on one. They're like, hey, that was pretty good actually. I'm gonna watch some more. I hope that happens with. I mean, if that happens with one person, it's a success for me.
It's not even about.
That's what I would hope to happen.
It's not even about any of these movies that all of us made blowing up. For me, it's about, like, I want more general audience people to be made aware of folk filmmaking and YouTube film. Like, that's if we get 5 views on our movie, but generally speaking, this is a thing now for regular people, I will be like the happiest dude on earth. Like,
yes, I can't. Like, I want to live in a world where people can watch the 100 movies that come out potentially from this Oscar night and say, wow, they did a really good job making this movie in 3 hours. Guess what? Most of these people make other movies that take them years to make, and like,
or months, or whatever.
I hope
15 days.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people put their life into this.
This is just what they can do with 3 hours. Now imagine what you could do with more than that.
On top of that, not only are we doing it in 3 hours, not only are we doing it in 2 years, not only are we doing that, we're releasing it for free on YouTube. It's like, we want that finally, and I feel like that's just like, I feel like that is the next step, even if it isn't through this, which sucks. If nothing comes of this, sadly, which there's no way nothing can't come of this. Because
something will happen, whether it's big or small.
Yes, and either way, at some point, people will be like, oh, I should go on Netflix. You know what? Now I'm going to go on YouTube today. That day will come where at least one
that's
person
when we
will.
know it's working.
Yes.
Like,
when they, like, we don't want to go have a personal vendetta against any of the streaming services like Netflix.
Yeah.
It's just the fact is we want to be up there with them.
the
basically.
second a normal person sees YouTube as just as valid as HBO Max and Netflix and Disney Plus, we know we're on the right path.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. That is making it.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is the new way of making it, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It's like we don't need the money. Clearly, we've dedicated the idea that we probably will never make money off of this. Clearly. But
no need to rub salt in the wound.
Nathan, knock on wood right now, please. Okay.
Either
thank
way,
you.
You've just made us all poor.
You're gonna like curse us right now with dark magic. You
I
need
know.
to stop.
But at the same time, it's like literally
Don't speak for me.
Nathan's like,
We don't even want the money.
He's like, you know what? Want the money.
I'm still.
Take my house, kick me out, burn my family alive.
I'm-
Give me the
Caleb's
camera.
social security number. It's yours.
I'm still in
All I need
denial.
is
I'm
movie.
okay with that. I'm very comfortable being in denial. Shut up.
Oh my god. Sorry. I was trying to match everyone else's energy, but apparently it's the whole thing.
That was just your energy.
Oh god.
Do you actually have an answer, Ethan, on your end? Because we still haven't let Ethan talk.
I mean, I was just watching the ride happen. I was just a bystander in this.
Oh my God.
No, but I agree, and I think that the struggle that Jordan and I have been facing is our movies aren't made for other filmmakers, but our audience is predominantly other filmmakers,
Yes.
and having the day where general audiences, just any person on YouTube watches our stuff and enjoys it, that's gonna be such a rewarding experience. And we've gleaned little glimpses of that from like family and close friends who aren't a part of filmmaking, enjoying it, and there are people who found our stuff through that. But to see that happen on a bigger scale, I think that's cool for not just for us but for everyone. And I think the folk filmmaking movement has done a great job of like kind of priming the pump for when that day comes. Like people like Dan, who's made the playlist, and there's other things out there to find videos like folk flicks, and we've made ourselves very available and easy to, and we're trying to make ourselves easy to find. And I think just this is the next step in that. And like you're saying, this is such a story that's easy to pick up. And if I saw that, I would be like, what the people made movies during the Oscars? What are you talking about?
3 hours and it's a feature film?
I mean, obviously I'm biased because I did it, but
I want to say my coworkers, I was telling them, hey, I'm going to be shooting a movie in 3 to 4 hours. Like, oh my God, that's so crazy. I bet it's going to be a comedy. I'm like, yep. And like, sure enough, we made like a funny movie, but it's like one of the most like meditative like movies I think either of us have made. And I know Jordan's kind of rolling his eyes right now, but it's the fact
it's the slowest, dramatic,
talking,
inner human just sitting down,
two brothers talking, like 2 guys show up.
But the aspect ratio changes, so it's all good.
Actually, it doesn't.
I'm pretty sure.
We don't know yet.
Oh God,
that's up for Caleb to decide.
Black and white. Sorry, I'm done.
Whoa! Don't be hating on black and white.
I'm not hating on black and white. I'm okay. I'm sorry. I think I'm just rubbing more salt into wounds.
Well, I think we could keep talking forever.
In fact, we will even after we stop hitting record.
But I think that's a good place to end it.
Did we break the record for longest doomed podcast?
Please.
Just barely.
Okay.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Just by a couple minutes. Yeah, we have.
But did we, though?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, let's keep
the
going.
The other one's 124. No. We'll leave the audience wanting more.
Let us wrap us up.
Sorry, wait. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was like, yes.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Doom Productions podcast. We appreciate everyone listening, especially if you stuck around to the end of this one for another chaotic, exciting episode. If you want to follow Nathan and Caleb and keep up with what's going on at the RC Films channel, subscribe to their YouTube channel firstly, and then also find their Twitter, their Facebook, both the official at RC Films Yakima. On Twitter and Facebook, and then also Caleb and Nathan's Twitter pages. You can find them there. That's a good way to keep up with them.
Yeah, this will also be where the movie we made is going to be, so go there and check it out.
And we'll have it linked down below so you can catch it really easy. But thank you guys so much for being on the podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, be sure to pop over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're on YouTube, we also play this on Spotify, so it's easy for you to listen. So thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of the podcast. That is not what the song is.